Solo death metal artist Tom. How did it come to be that you just a solo death metal artist?
A lot of it was from playing in other bands, and then you kind of have a vision of where you'd like the band to go, but everyone else's vision's kind of different.
Yeah.
And eventually it was just a case of going like, I'd seen other one-man bands and thought, especially the American ones, and thought, well, you know, I could have a go at doing that.
Yeah.
And it was literally just a kind of a bit of a whim, just going, oh, fuck it, I'll try that and see if I prefer it.
Oh,
and
okay.
I've been doing it ever since.
Wow. So have you, well, they're from the States, you said you'd seen the one-man band kind of guys over there from the States. Was there anyone that inspired you that did that? Was there a specific artist?
Well, there was Putrid Pile.
Oh, wow.
Insidious Discrepancy, who's no longer active, but he was kind of one of the best. He did some very, very technical death metal.
Yeah.
And his stuff was really good.
Wow.
Then there was Blood Soaked, Cemetery Rapist. There was a few of the bands. It's more like a lot of it's sort of porno grind, and I'm just not into porno grind because it's a bit like it's very for me. But Insidious Discrepancy, he did some quite interesting things musically. So it was kind of the inspiration, and seeing them playing kind of massive festivals, like they'd do Death Feast in Germany and Obscene Extreme and all these bigger festivals.
Yeah. That Obscene Extreme's really cool, actually.
Yeah, my friend of mine's band played there. Actually, a few of my friends' bands have played there.
Yeah. Do you know Wormrot?
The only thing I worry about is no crowd barrier.
Ah, yeah, true. Because they just have them jumping on stage there.
Yeah. To a degree. I mean, it's like give drunk people the opportunity.
Yeah, they'll get up on there with you. And now, Foul Body Autopsy. I love the name. Was there an inspiration behind that, or how did you come about to get that name?
I stole it.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I say I stole it. It's a Necrophagist song. So it's funnily enough, the first Necrophagist album, Mohammed wrote all the music himself, and it's the original demo and the original album was done with a drum machine.
Oh, okay.
And this is back in like the 90s, so he programmed all the drums for this album on like an Atari.
Yeah. Oh, right. So wow.
So it would have been like horrible to do, but it was kind of it sort of made sense because I was sort of massively inspired by Mohammed and his just fantastic playing. Like if you listen to they only did 2 albums, but the second album, Epitaph.
Oh, okay.
The second album.
Yeah.
If you listen to Epitaph, listen
okay.
to one side, and then listen to the other side, and what you end up getting is there's 2 separate guitar parts that become one when you listen to it together. So they're panned left and right, and it's just genius musicianship because you're sort of going like these 2 separate guitar parts have all these harmonies in. Become one part and sound like one when you listen to it.
Oh, that'd be awesome. You've got me curious. I'm definitely going to listen to that now. Yeah.
Yeah, only did 2 albums, and then
2 albums, and they're
currently inactive.
Ah, shame. Yeah.
I think they had label issues. I think they were having issues with Relapse, and Relapse kind of shelved them for a while because that's what labels are like.
Yeah. So what came first for you? Because you do play guitar and your vocals. Was it vocals or your guitar?
No, it was guitar first.
Guitar first. Yeah.
The vocals kind of came second, but I was terrified of being a vocalist.
Oh, really?
Absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
Like for a long time, I found it really difficult because obviously when you're hearing your voice for the first time, it's like, oh God, that's what I sound like. Oh.
And did you do the growls and everything, or how did? Yeah.
That was kind of because I couldn't hold a note at that point, but obviously now because I've been singing for about 10 years, I've kind of found out where my range is as well. My range is actually quite high.
Really? You've got a nice big.
But I'm not likely to sing on anything like clean singing.
No clean singing.
No.
Well, you sound great anyway. You do sound great. I heard your growls. They're awesome. And I was going to, now, before we go into putting up your video, I just, Perpetuated by Greed, I just want to talk a little bit about that before we put it up and show the viewers. So what was the inspiration behind that, or what inspired you to write that song and the clip behind it? It's amazing. Yeah.
Well, Perpetuated by Greed, it's one of the most political things I've done, because it was around the time it was the Cameron government, and it was basically public school boys from very, very old money effectively running the country and just running everything into the ground, and just taking as much money out of the health service as possible, and just generally fucking over everyone while claiming that we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was just getting so wound up by the Conservative government at that time.
Yeah.
It just, his whole attitude and his level of arrogance always used to, like, if I could punch him in the face, I probably would have. It's just that, it's that kind of very posh schoolboy kind of attitude where he just didn't give a crap about anybody who was in, like, the working class, or, you know, wouldn't vote for him.
Yeah. And is he still in government, or whatever you call it there?
No, he's been out for years. He took a massive risk. With the Brexit vote, because he decided that to fix divisions within his own party, he'd have this referendum on EU membership. And it was purely to fix division within his own party, because half the Conservative Party wanted to be in the EU and half of them don't. And what wound up happening was he said, okay, fine, we'll have this vote, and then, you know, everyone will vote to stay and it'll be fine. And they didn't expect the Leave campaign to be quite as not necessarily, it convinced a lot of people who maybe didn't necessarily think about the long-term ramifications of leaving the EU versus, well, it was sort of short-term, because long-term you'll probably be fine if you can get trade deals. But obviously it was like, you can't do this right now. You can't just dump out the EU now. And especially when we've got no industry in this country, we're effectively an arms dealer. Arms deal and launder money. That's what England does now.
Oh gosh.
And but yeah, he left office right after the Brexit vote, because obviously he was for Remain and lost. So he's like, okay, I'm out. And then you had Theresa May for a while, and then now it's Boris Johnson.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, that's very powerful then. That particular song, Perpetuated by Greed. And the film clip
it was basically about
it
was basically about the idea that, you know, you can't eat money, so why are you spending all your time constantly piling up money? Because you can't eat it.
No, that's right.
You can burn it to stay warm.
But... burn it to stay warm, yeah. And the clip is very fitting to that. Now it all makes sense with what you've just, because I've watched your clip, amazing, and we're going to go to that too in a minute.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, so let's go have a look at the clip, and then we can talk a little more about it and listen to, what was the name of the song, Perpetuated by Greed? You wanna remember that, because there's a prize from our sponsors to win lots of prizes. Okay, so here we are. Check it out and crank it up loud. Perpetuated by Greed. Woo! just you doing everything. That's amazing. The clip is awesome. Who did that clip anyway? Do you have someone else do your clips?
Yeah, it was that one. The funny thing is, I think it's Costin Chiro.
Yeah,
it's
one of those hard names. Yeah,
but he's an artist from I think it's hang on, I'll check. It's somewhere in Eastern Europe.
Amazing.
But he's done a ton of stuff for like Napalm Death. And
how cool! How cool! That's awesome. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, love the clip. Yeah.
That record was recorded in the same studio as Napalm Death as well.
Oh, wow, really? Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Because I work with their producer every so often. I mean, he did the last single. He mixed that for me. And he's going to mix the next album as well.
How cool!
Just because he's very good at what he does. Obviously, I mean, if you look at your record collection, there's going to be at least one album somewhere by one band that has been produced by Russ. So
wow. Well, it's really cool clip. Love it. I love now it all come together with what you're telling me, but the backstory behind Perpetuated by Greed. Yeah. So, if you were listening, Jackson, you still on? You can win yourself some Beserk prizes. What was the name of that song? It's an easy one. They're easy questions. So write it down and you'll get some Beserk prizes. Actually, there's really cool prizes. But you know what I like? These Duff, they're bottle openers. Can you see that? Can you see that? Am I holding it close?
Oh, yeah.
And it's actually a magnet. So you stick it on your fridge. You get yourself your beer, take it off the fridge, and there you go. That's really handy because I'm always looking through my cutlery drawer for my bottle opener. So it's like, stick it on the fridge. It's there. Take it off. Pretty cool. Sponsors with Beserk. So if you're on, Jackson, what's the title of that song? And any viewer questions too. Ask Tom a question. Let us know. All right, so I was going to ask you this because I saw this. I thought, oh, how amazing. You've played at Bloodstock Air 3 times. How cool.
Yep.
How awesome.
Yeah. It was kind of the funny thing about that is it sounds really arrogant anytime you say it. But
oh, really?
I'm the first one-man band that's ever played it.
Wow.
And
first one.
I played the first time in 2011.
Yeah.
There's a competition called Metal to the Masses, and it's basically like a battle of the bands.
Oh, how cool!
And you just enter, and then you work your way through the rounds until the final, and then if you win, you play Bloodstock.
Oh, is that how that goes?
In 2011, I won. And then wound up playing 2 days in a row because I got a phone call a couple of days later asking if I wanted to play a second stage on the Friday. So I was playing the Saturday, and then I was doing another stage on the Friday as well.
Wow.
And then
so that was the first one in 2011, was it? First one.
Yeah, 2011, and then 2015, and then last year.
Wow! Oh, so you only just did one last year. The last one.
Yeah.
How cool!
Yeah, the last one, and then it's been postponed until next year now.
Yes. So you've played amongst many awesome bands like the Cannibal Corpse, Opeth it was, and our very own Aussie guys, Thy Art Is Murder.
Oh, I've played with them a couple of times actually.
Yeah, they're from here. They're our boys.
Yeah, because they did Leicester O2. It was still when they were pretty small. They were doing a tour with a couple of other. I think they were doing a tour with the South American band. And,
yeah, they've got pretty big now. Thy Art Is Murder. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of that funny thing when you sort of end up. It's like, I played with them in like some shit venue in Leicester at one point, and now they're main stage. So.
Oh, how cool! That's awesome. I was just going to say, Jackson said, "Perpetuated by Greed." Yes, Jackson, that's right. So you get one of those. I'm going to throw you in a bit more than that, but you'll get this one, and then let's see what else. So you have maybe one of these really cool. See, they're collectors, these collectible like mugs. Pennywise.
Yeah, nice.
mug. You happy with that, Jackson? One of these hit mugs, 3D mugs, and your duff to open your beer. And we'll throw in some other few goodies as well for you. Happy with that? Yeah. Hell yeah? Cool. Rotworks. Rotworks, that's Wormrot. I was just talking about them. Wormrot, they were at Obscene Extreme Festival. They're on. Hey, hello. Oh my God. It's hey, how are you? It's Arif. Is that? Yep, it is Arif. Nice.
What, Arif from Wormrot?
Yes, he's on Twitch right now on the live chat. Yeah.
Hi, Arif.
You know him too. How cool.
He did some artwork for me in 2012.
Oh, wow. There you go. Hey, nice to have you on, Arif. Yeah, because when you said Obscene Extreme, I remember talking with Arif and the rest of the guys and said, what's this festival like? It's crazy because we saw the clip and they're just jumping on stage because he said there's no barriers. And there you go. How's that? That is so cool. We were only just chatting about you, about Obscene Extreme.
Very small world.
Yeah, that is so cool. Hope you've been well. I'm going to have to talk to you next time like this on Twitch. I'd really love to get you guys on here. Yeah, awesome. So, yeah, going back to Bloodstock. So you said you did those 3 years. So did you mix and mingle with these guys? Did you
occasionally, if you're in the press area, you can kind of bump into people.
Yeah.
So it's always a bit strange. Like last year I was doing interviews, and then you've got a Ginger Wildheart waiting for the journalist after me.
Yeah.
So you can kind of rub shoulders with some fairly famous people.
That would have been.
But it's always a bit weird anyway, because you don't really want to be bothering people because they're like, they've got interviews to be doing. Like I've met Napalm Death like 3 times, and every time I meet them, I make a complete arse out of myself.
Really?
They just immediately start fanboying.
Yeah. Rockwork says, "Hey."
I know they're.
Oh, sorry. Go. Yep.
I know their current fill-in guitar player. So anytime I see them, I usually just end up speaking to him because it's so much easier than going like, "Oh my God, I love your band."
Yeah. That would be cool though. Napalm Death, how cool. And Rotwork says, "Hey man, what's up? It's been a while."
It's been a long time.
Long time, yeah. 2012, hey? Is that what he said back then? Yeah.
I'll have to get some artwork soon.
Oh, there you go. Did you hear that? Get some artwork soon, hey? That'd be cool.
I've got a grind project that I'm supposed to be doing with a mate, so hopefully at some point we'll get some like really nasty grindy artwork done.
Yeah. That's awesome. And any questions? Any questions for Tom? Foul Body Autopsy? It's so good you're on. Thank you for being on too, Arif. It's really nice. Really nice. I hope you guys are all well and safe in these crazy, crazy times. Everything's well over there in Singapore. And, okay, so, and what else I was going to say is, so you've done quite a few EPs, singles, and what, two full-length albums? Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you're currently doing what you said, it'll be an album, or you're working on
either an album or an EP. I haven't decided yet.
You haven't decided just yet. Yeah.
I might just refer to it as a mini album. Just sort of like the bullet. Oh, it's a mini album. It's long enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just this week the last couple of weeks I've been doing drums, bass, and keyboards because I'm waiting for one of my guitars to come back from being set up because that's going to be the main rhythm guitar.
I saw that nice Gibson Explorer.
Yeah.
Is it that one? Yeah. I saw that. I was checking it out. I love guitars. Yeah.
Well, I bought that one right before lockdown. Actually, it was a local music shop. Had it in second hand. I played it in December and was like, oh, it's nice, but I better not. And then played it in March and went, oh fuck it, I'll buy it. And then the day before lockdown, I was like, right, I want it, but I want a deal.
Yeah. So did you get a good deal?
But, but I've got to do some video stuff for them because I endorse Black Star amps and they stock Black Star amps, so it sort of makes sense for me to do some videos for them.
That's cool. Yeah, I did see that, the Black Star. Yeah. So talking about guitars, so is it Explorer? You do have a few others, is it? A few other guitars that you've got?
Yeah, the Explorer is kind of a very new thing for me, because I was playing Jacksons for a long time, and then I was kind of switched over to Fender from about 2013 till now, and I ended up playing. It was when I was recording with Ross Russell last time. He has a really nice Gibson Les Paul, which I borrowed to do quad tracks.
Yeah.
And I wound up kind of going like, oh, well, I might buy a Gibson just because of how good they are for tracking rhythms.
Yeah.
So all the rhythm guitars will be done with the Gibson, and then the Fenders will be used for cleans and leads and anything that kind of needs to be a bit more pretty.
Wow. I'm going to go.
But I've got too many guitars.
You got too many? I thought it's never enough.
No, I've gotten to that age now where it's like going, I can really play one at a time.
True. I'm just going to read out a few things. From Jackson said, love your music, man. And Rotwork said, whenever you're ready, brother, no worries. FBA rules. And Rotworks also said, more power to Vamped Up too. Thank you for interviewing us in Australia. I'm going to head off real soon. Stay safe, good people. That's from Rotworks. Nice, eh? Nice. Yeah. You too. Stay safe as well. And talk to you soon, I hope. Arif, get this going. Get you here on Twitch. And Two-Time Grime gave us 3 black hearts. Two-Time Grime.
That'll be my mate.
Cool. Hey, so from the UK? Hello.
Yeah.
Nice to have UK viewers. Hello. That's awesome. So, I was going to say, how do you manage all that? Because you do everything yourself.
It's pretty. I'm fairly well disciplined, so I'll get things done. I love deadlines because I can just set up a load of deadlines and I'll meet them.
Yeah.
But it's not necessary. I mean, it's harder to actually wangle together other musicians than it is myself, because it's like going, okay, right, we need to sort out all this stuff and we have to make everyone else's schedules work.
Yeah.
Whereas with doing stuff by myself, the gear's always waiting.
Yeah.
It's always there. The drum machine doesn't have to go and see his girlfriend or, his wife or what have you.
Yeah, that's true.
So, it's not like, all of my equipment doesn't have personal lives. So they're at my whim, really.
So that's easy. It makes it easier for you. Do you have any technical hiccups though when you go live with all of that? No, you're pretty much right. No,
it's fairly okay, because I've done it for long enough that I kind of have enough sort of wherewithal not to like never use computers live, because something will always go wrong if you use a computer live. So I've the backing tracks are still on like an iPod, and they're on one of the really early iPods with the spinning disc in, so you can actually hear the disc spinning.
Oh wow!
As it's. But yeah, it's kind of just go like, what's the kind of the safest options, and you can get some really good playback options. There's a few, there's a few newer ones that I'm thinking of getting, which is like rack mounted stuff, and it's basically a hard disk, and you can run as many tracks out of that as you want. So I can have like a full live setup. But at the moment, I mean, it's mostly been okay. I mean, the only real like massive issues I've had is when. It's actually when I was playing with Thy Art Is Murder. I had a string slip, and all of a sudden, like everything was completely out of tune.
Oh,
just like,
no!
It's because I was playing with a floating trem at the time, so just everything's out. Just like
everything.
Okay, well,
how long did that take? Did you have to? You obviously kept going. Yeah.
Luckily, it was right at the end. It was kind of right towards the end of the set, so I was able to just go, okay, right, bye.
Is that what you did? Oh, it was lucky that you were right at the end. Otherwise, it would have took you a while to tune it all up again, right?
Yeah, at that point, it's like, oh, fuck it, I'll give up. Someone else can play.
Yeah.
But I've not played with floating trems for years, purely for the fact that in case something goes wrong, I used to block them off a lot of the time, because you get really great tuning stability if you block off a floating trem and then just lock the nut down.
Yeah.
It's not going to go out of tune, but now you've got Evertune and all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah, you do. There's amazing things.
I haven't quite made the jump to Evertune yet, because I'm a bit skeptical of it's taking that much wood out of a guitar. Makes me sort of go.
Oh, okay. You don't want that. Yeah.
Because there's certain, especially on Explorers, like the sweet spot is right under the bridge. So if you're going to start taking all of that wood out, you can end up neutering the guitar.
And that's just mainly what with the Explorers.
With a lot of guitars, if you take too much wood out, you can just wind up neutering them. It's a lot of the reasons why Telecasters and Strats sound so different is because there's just more wood, and with an Explorer, obviously there's a lot of wood because it's it's kind of it's sort of a needless amount of wood for kind of a cool shape, but it kind of helps with tone.
That's right. It's just my cat crawling around everywhere in the background. It's just like, watch it. It's all good. It's all good. And I wanted to talk to you about, happy birthday, because you've only just recently had a birthday too. And not just your birthday, there's a 10-year anniversary with Foul Body Autopsy as well. So congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Which is terrifying, really.
Really? Because it's been 10 years?
Yeah. I mean, I started doing this when I was 17.
Wow.
And I'm 28 now. And it's like, oh,
Scary.
God.
It's getting on.
So it's just time disappearing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck.
And
it's the thing where you're pushing 30 and going, I'm sure it will be fine, but I'm sort of terrified at the same time.
Yeah, true. And why I brought that up is because you've re-recorded a song for your 10th anniversary, which is Purified, Ready to Claim. And you why did you choose that song to re-record?
I had the drums for a while because the drums were from. I did it was while I was at uni. I wasn't really playing that much, and I needed to do some stuff for an assignment. So I got a session drummer that I know to play drums on that track. It was just for the demo.
Yeah, so it's a real
I can use it as,
drummer for this.
Yeah, I can use it as part of the assignment. And I still had those kicking around, and I was never really happy with the mix on the second album. Because that song's actually off my second album, and I just was never that pleased with the mix because I did the mix myself, and I was just too close to it. There's points where you've got to hand stuff off to other people and go, look, you do it, because I'm too close to it and I will ruin it.
Yeah.
And which I learned on that one. So it was nice to re-record that and kind of have it sound the way it should have sounded realistically, instead of it being like me kind of getting just too obsessive over it, because I'll get viciously unhealthily obsessed with when I'm working on a project. Like I can't stop, so sometimes it's nice to just give it to someone else and go like, right, you finish it and give it back to me when you're done.
So with this one, you've re-recorded it. Is this going to go on the EP, or you're thinking of putting that in the new or not?
No, this one's kind of just a standalone.
Okay.
So that'll be it might go on an edition with the album, but at this point, it's kind of that thing where you're sort of going, well, no one really buys CDs anymore, so there's not much point in putting it on CD. And
and
I mean, to a degree, it's nice that people don't buy CDs anymore, because you can kind of just put stuff on Bandcamp or Spotify or whatever, and it's completely passive income. So you're effectively just going, well, I'll just sit around, and then royalties will come in eventually.
Yeah, and you're on Bandcamp and Spotify as well, just to let the viewers know, everyone know.
I'm on. I've got distribution, so I should be everywhere. Unfortunately for everyone's ears.
That's it. Yeah, and so also I just want to let people know, because it's from your album titled "This Machine Kills Zombies," which I love that title. That is awesome.
Yeah, I was trying to come, because initially that album was going to be instrumental, because I don't really like doing vocals. Never have. And
you've never liked doing vocals?
No, I've always hated it, because it's just, for a long time it was sort of a self-confidence thing, because you're like, I can't do it, and then you hate the sound of your voice. And I mean, at this point, I've kind of gotten to the point where it's like, well, I can do everything I'd need to do vocally, and but I still hate doing vocals, because the way that I do vocals, it really hurts.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it does rip the throat a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to bellow quite a lot, because a lot of like the proper technique that a lot of people do, it doesn't really work for my voice, so I just have to be deafeningly loud.
Yeah.
And but it sounds good. It's just that it is quite painful. If I haven't done it for a while, if I've been rehearsing for a couple of weeks, it's normally not so bad. But if I haven't done it for like 3 months, which I normally do, is that I won't do vocals. If I don't have to, I won't do it for months on end.
Wow.
Usually not, but the first rehearsal is usually really painful.
Wow. And I'll just let the viewers know, if there's any questions for Tom, it can be anything. Anything you like for Tom. I'm sure you don't mind.
What's your favourite drum machine?
Yeah. There you go. Answer that. That's a good question. What is your favourite drum machine?
Well, I've been using Toontrack's software for years, so that's pretty much all I've ever been using.
Always the same.
Yeah. It's kind of the same software, but a lot of different patches and samples and things. But
okay.
on some of the records, obviously the drums get resampled by whoever's mixing.
Right.
So like Russ has his own sort of sample library based off of records that he's done previously. So you get kind of a slightly more unique sound than a sample library that anyone can get.
Okay. Yeah, no, Jackson's saying KVLT drums 2. Do you know, is that the one?
I don't think I know that one.
KVLT, isn't it? That's V, yeah. Drums 2.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many drum machine companies now. It's like Toontrack was kind of the first kind of proper software drum machine, because they did Drum Kit from Hell, which was done with Thomas Harkey from Meshuggah.
Yeah.
Because it's
from Meshuggah. Yeah,
a bunch of the guys from Meshuggah started Toontrack kind of just so they could have this stuff for themselves, and then they've kind of become this very big software company, and I use a lot of that stuff because it's all really great, and I know how to use it. So
Jackson said drum software, so he was referring to it as drum software, the KVLT drums 2. Yeah, he was just mentioning that. And now I want to go into I want to talk about the gigs there. Now, have you must have gigged at a lot of places there in the UK, and did you kind of go out of the UK? Because it's been 10 years, you must have been at quite a few places.
Yeah, I had quite a few offers for America, but the problem with that is that it was because obviously with US tours, you can't do short runs. It has to be like, if you're going to do, it's like doing proper runs, and at that time I was working for the University of Leicester, and it was just so difficult to get any time off.
Right.
So I had to turn down quite a lot of US touring.
That's a shame.
But it was kind of one of those things, but I'm sure it will happen again at some point.
That's right.
But I've mostly stuck within the UK because it was just a lot easier, especially when I was gigging a lot, which was a few years ago.
Wow. So where did you go? Tell us some of the places there, especially in the UK, even for like once this all blows over. I'm sure there's, other bands that want to go. Where's some great clubs there in the UK to gig in?
I'm trying to think. Like you've got the 13th Note. I'm not sure if it's even still open, but there's a few venues in Scotland. Like Audio is very good, and it's obviously Glasgow's a bit rough, but
is it?
It's one of the only places where you feel like you might get your head kicked in, but you feel somewhat safe because there's police everywhere. So it's like every couple of blocks there's like police.
Yeah.
But Glasgow's a bit rough.
Oh, that's Glasgow, is that? Yeah. Wow. And so some others. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got Firebug, which is my usual haunt in Leicester, which works really well. And it's basically a bar, but it's also a venue upstairs as well. So it's kind of a jack of all trades. And then there's, what is it? The Chameleon Arts Cafe, which is in Nottingham, which is it's kind of a bit of a weird one because it's kind of a renovated flat almost.
Oh, wow, that sounds...
The venue itself is like, it was previously someone's living room.
Yeah.
And now it's been sort of retrofitted.
That sounds bizarre.
But it's a really small room with a fucking huge PA. Like when you walk in, you just think like that PA is too big for this room.
Oh, wow. How many people does it fit? Is it quite small?
I mean, you could sort of say 100, but it's like 60 comfortably.
Oh, what? That's small. That is small.
Yeah, it's a lot. A lot of the venues here are tiny. Because the whole The whole place is very, very small. The country's small. The scene's very small. It's not like anywhere else. But
what about the festivals? Do you have festivals there quite often?
Yeah, well, you've
Music
got you've got Download.
Oh yeah, Download, of course. That's awesome. That one.
Yeah, Download's huge as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Download, Bloodstock,
Bloodstock.
Reading and Leeds.
Oh,
you've got kind of your more mainstream stuff.
Yeah,
but then like the Bloodstock's kind of your biggest independent kind of underground metal festival, and then you've got a lot of the sort of smaller festivals that'll be over like 2 days. Yeah. And there's a venue in Leeds called Temple of Boom, which is very cool. It's retrofitted from being kind of a meat processing.
Oh wow!
Meat processing plant.
Yep.
And one of the venues still has the plastic sheeting up that you have. So when you walk through,
plastic sheeting, just like you do in those meat stores.
Yeah.
Wow!
Like one of the, and then the floors are slightly slanted as well, because obviously if you're processing meat, you need to get the blood out of the building. So.
Oh, that would be so trippy.
Especially
after a few drinks.
It's been retrofitted into a venue, and it actually looks quite nice now. It's sort of it's kind of, you sort of get that like, oh, this has been done by someone else, and I think they've got, it kind of reminds me of a rehearsal rooms that also does gigs called Stuck on a Name, which is in Nottingham.
Oh, right.
And it kind of reminds me of there, but it's kind of like a bigger version of that.
Yeah.
Stuck on a Name's quite small as well now.
Wow.
But we don't tend to have massive venues here, other than like the O2 and stuff like that. Because the scene's just not really big enough to sustain having massive venues in every town.
Wow. So I'm gonna go back to like asking you with your songs. Have you got is there any songs that are challenging for you, like either vocally or playing a guitar with any of your tracks? Yeah.
The early stuff.
The early stuff.
The very early stuff when I was like 17 and trying to like prove that I was some great guitar player. I was effectively just doing stuff with no rhythm but a lot of notes, and that stuff tricky to play, because obviously it's all legato.
Yeah.
And it's all of it's like 250 beats per minute, and it was just me being full of piss and vinegar, going like, I'm going to prove I'm the best. And then eventually you sort of realise that people like choruses.
Yes. Oh wow. This is what
the newest stuff sort of has challenges in the sense that it's a lot more rhythmic. There's a lot more sort of forward rhythm.
Yeah.
So effectively, and there's less notes as well. So when you fuck up, everyone hears it.
Oh no!
But there was one solo that I had to take out of a song because I just could not play it. I fucked it up.
What?
At one
Really?
Gig. I messed it up at one gig.
Oh no!
My mate who had given me a lift down.
Yeah.
Because he's here. I work with him a lot with the local music scene.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell, my light's playing up.
Oh no, your light. It's all right. It's good. Oops.
Hang on, wait.
Yeah, his light's playing up. It's all right.
It will stop in a minute.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
It's I've got 3 of them anyway, so when that one dies, I'll put another one up. But yeah, I was playing a festival in Derby, and it went to that solo, and I just ballsed it completely. And I was like, oh, okay, weird. That probably won't happen again. And then he's jinxed it, because he basically went, oh yeah, you fucked that solo up, didn't you?
Oh no.
And he's jinxed it since then. And every single gig is like, oh yeah, don't fuck up that solo.
Oh,
every single
so when he says it, is that song on your album Which that particular song?
It's on the most recent EP. It's
it is
on the Unquiet Dead. So it's the final song on the Unquiet Dead.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of the big solo at the end of the song. And for ages, I just kept ballsing it up. And you're like going, all right, I'm just going to take the solo out for a bit.
I'm going to listen to it
I can't fucking play it.
I want to listen to that now. I will do that. I'm curious. So is it a long solo?
Thing is,
yeah.
It was it was a really easy solo to play. And like when I recorded it, it was like, okay, we're gonna do like there's footage of me recording that EP with Russ, and we did a quick just because we had a wah pedal on, and it was one of those ones where you can sort out all the sweeps and do all sorts of random shit. So Russ was on the floor fiddling with it while I'm just playing.
Yeah.
And then he went, okay, do you want to just try it then? He hits record and I do it in one take. And then it went from being able to do it in one take when I'm asleep to like, I don't know where I'm going. I've forgotten everything I know about guitar. Oh. Who am I? What day is it? But I even ballsed it up at Bloodstock. It was like going, like,
oh,
okay,
no
don't
way.
Fuck it up,
you didn't do it.
Yeah,
you stuffed it up there. In Bloodstock.
Well, most of the time, half the time I just sort of go, fuck it. It's sort of having the...
Hope that everyone's been drinking really well by then. They wouldn't have noticed.
I think half the time, if you admit to fucking up, people are like, whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
that's true.
If you try and cover it up, they'll be like, no, man, it was deliberate. I meant to play all those wrong notes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You're better off admitting it. True. Yes. You know what? We're going to do a fun thing. 10 questions in 30 seconds. Tom?
Oh, Christ.
Oh, yeah, they're fairly easy. I'm just going to put my little clock on the phone. And it's just it's kind of random questions. It's music questions and just, everyday questions. So, really easy. I'll just set the timer on here. Where are we, timer? There we go. I'll set to 30 seconds. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll start. And go. All right. Name a band that's inspired you.
Metallica.
Awesome. Favourite alcoholic beverage?
Ghost Ship.
And first concert you went to?
Local gig at the Shed in Leicester.
Awesome.
It was a friend's band.
A friend's band. And name a horror movie that you've watched. Hope you're
What, recently? Overlord.
Oh, wow. Cool. And name a band poster you had up on your bedroom wall, if you did, while growing up.
Nirvana.
Awesome. And last festival that you attended, not played, the last one.
Bloodstock.
And who would you bring back from the grave to gig with? Yeah.
David Bowie.
Cool. And last album you bought?
Last album I bought. I bought one recently. I'm sure I did. I think it was probably Gojira. I think I bought.
Did you?
I think I bought one of their older records.
And who would you love to tour with that you haven't yet?
Devin Townsend.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he'd be awesome. And was that 10? Because I think I've skipped some. And, just, where is it? Where I've lost it now. Oh, one of your favourite foods that you like to eat?
Oh, it'll be pizza on my end.
Yeah, pizza's always good. And one lucky last, first metal song that you ever listened to?
Not sure if it technically counts as metal, but it would have been Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath.
Good one there too. That was just fun, random questions. Thanks for playing. It's just nice and quick. So, what's coming up for Foul Body Autopsy? What's coming up next?
At the moment.
Yeah, I know that this is going on.
Just recording, and then after, once the recording's done, that will hopefully be out in October.
Yeah, cool.
And then I'll probably do, depending on what's happening, if I can play live again, I'll be doing the tour dates that were planned.
Yeah.
If not, I'll just be doing stuff online again and doing streamed gigs.
Nice. And
so it's either way, things will be happening, but we have no idea what's going to happen.
No, no one knows. Yeah. So you're hanging to get out there though to do that gigging again, being amongst it.
Yeah, it would be. It's going to be nice to sort of get back out again. I mean, to a degree, it's kind of doing stuff from home's a lot less stressful because you're not like in a rush to get like gear down. And obviously, because I play with a lot of scrims, it's like I need 3 or 4 pairs of hands to like move everything. But I am missing it to a degree. I'm
Yeah.
more missing. I'm missing working gigs as well because
Yeah.
I sit on the door for local shows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. You were saying that.
So,
and have you got merch, Tom? Merch to buy?
Yeah, I do. Well,
yeah. What do you
at the
got?
moment, mostly it's CDs, which no one buys anymore. So
I find people still buy them here in Australia. I've talked to quite a few people that still do. So I don't know what it's like over there. Yeah.
It's kind of weird because like some bands sort of go, oh yeah, we sell loads of CDs. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't sell anything.
Yeah.
I mean, most of my stuff goes via download or streaming.
Yeah.
So,
and so
I
you're
think
on
my
both
fans
of those.
just moved with the time.
Yeah. So you said Bandcamp and Spotify, right? Yep, you're on.
Bandcamp, Spotify, Deezer, all those platforms.
So did you say CDs? Did you have anything else that merch that we can buy from you?
Not at the present, because everywhere's.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I can get merch from at the moment.
True, that's right. Are people still working, making shirts and all of that stuff? Yeah.
There'll be new stuff in about October time, I imagine.
Oh, good. And you're on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yeah.
All of those, so you can follow Tom. And anything you want to mention before we go, Tom? Have I left anything out that I should have asked you? There's something you want to say?
No, other than thanks for anyone who watched and thanks for the support.
Well, there was viewers. Thank you to our viewers, because there's Jackson. I know Rockworks. That was really an amazing surprise. I was like, wow, really welcome surprise from Rockworks. So that was cool to have them on. And also Two-Time Grime. Are you all still on? So hello. Nice to have you all on, and thanks for watching. And thanks to our sponsors, Beserk, for giving prizes away. They're awesome. And I can't wait to hear your new stuff, Tom.
Yeah, me neither. I've been working with earplugs in, so I haven't even heard it yet.
Oh, really? I want to listen to that solo and to the other one that we were mentioning. What was that? Yeah. What did I say? I know it's written here.
It's The Unquiet Dead.
Oh, that's it. That's the one. Yes, I want to listen to that.
It's the follow-up to This Machine Kill Zombies, because This Machine Kill Zombies was a concept album, and then I thought I'd just add a tag on something at the end. Yeah.
Awesome. So. Well, you're amazing to do it all yourself. That's good to see. Well done. Congrats. And congrats on the 10 years. I know you don't want to hear that because you're saying you're getting older.
It's only the terrifying thing of just going, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
It's just while everyone else is getting married and having kids, and you sort of go like, I should really start doing something useful.
Well, you are. You're doing this. You're putting out awesome music and great clip. I really love that clip. That was perpetuated by Greed, and that'll be on the video too on our YouTube channel. And a few other extras we can throw in. But Tom, it's been lovely talking to you. You can go because it's
Thank you.
Lunchtime over there, or after lunch now, isn't it?
Well, lunch sort of spans 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, how does it over there in the UK? And it's like what is it now? 10 p.m. here in Brisbane, Gold Coast. Gold Coast is just, I don't know if you know Australia much. There's Brisbane, Queensland, and we're just down the Gold Coast. Which is an hour away from Brisbane, really. So
technically I'm time travelling.
Yes! Yes, I'm here with you. Is that cool there? Because it's probably colder than it is here, and it's winter here.
It's that bizarre thing of going like, it's winter. How's it winter? The sun's out. It's warm.
Oh, warm, yes. Oh, thanks again, Tom. And
no problem.
Yeah, I'll be in touch and see you do more amazing things. Amazing new tracks coming up. Watch out, so peeps, follow him. Like and follow. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and the Bandcamp, Spotify. On your streams, go check them out. Thanks again, Tom. You have
no worries.
Good afternoon. No worries. Much love and blood, and we're out.